did Eddie get the nickname Kubi? Okay, so I know now that you guys asked this question, I know you're gonna ask a question about how Lizzie got Krita. Okay, it's kind of like my uncle came up with Krita and I came up with Kubi. So I'll answer Kubi first because that's the one you asked about. Kubi. Okay, you know, like when you have a little baby, some people either call their baby Buddha or Booby. And I'm like, oh, it's so cute, that little booby. And I used to call all the little kids Booby. And I was like, yo, that sounds a little weird because these are boobies. So when you're out in public, oh, I miss my boobies. And I'm like, it sounds like kind of strange to say it out loud. I don't know, I just always felt weird saying boobies in public. So I said, you know what, I can't call him Booby. So let's see what else sounds good. Kubi. So I just went to the next letter. I was like, Kubi. And that's why I got it. It's just as simple as that. That's how I got Kubi. And I put words that rhyme with it. Like some people think his nickname is Kubi Scooby. It's not. His nickname is Kubi. But I go, oh my Kubity Scoobity, Kubity Doobity, Kubity Boobity, Kubity Roobity, Hoobity Loobity. I just make all letters rhyme it. And then he goes, Mom, stop. My name's Scooby. I'm like, fine. Your name is Edgar. And he's like, no, it's not. My name is Edgarilla. Edgarilla. I'm like, oh, Lord, boy. Okay, bye. So then with Lizzie, I got Krita because if you guys have been following me from the beginning when Lizzie first came, I didn't show her face and I didn't say her name. So when I didn't show Eddie's face and didn't say his name was Buddy. That was his like alias name. Oh, my foot falling asleep. Oh, and Lizzie's alias name was Mamacita. And so my uncle used to always, I don't know if he still watches our videos, but he used to always call her Mama Cheetah. I'm like, her name is Mamacita. It's not Mama Cheetah. Okay? Like, why are you purposely saying that word wrong? And he would keep doing it. He was like, oh, hi, Mama Cheetah. I'm like, it's Mamacita. Stop saying it wrong on purpose. I know you're saying it wrong on purpose. I know, I feel it in my soul. You're saying it wrong on purpose. So then he just kept doing it. I said, what's next? He gonna call you, what did I say? He gonna call you Mama Zeta, Mama Frida, Mama Cheetah, Mama Cheetah, Mama Krita. And then I stopped at Krita. I was like, Mama Krita. Woo, Krita. Krita girl. And that's how I got it. It's random. It's crazy. But that's how I got Krita. And because my uncle kept saying Mama Cheetah, and then I was making fun of him. Like I said with Kubi, I go Kubity Scoobity, Kubity Loobity, Kubity Doobity, Roobity Soobity, like that. So I take words and I just keep making them rhyme. So I did that with Lizzie. And I said, he said Mama Cheetah. I'm like, Mama Cheetah, Mama Ceta, Mama Krita, and then that's when I stopped at Krita. So, and that's how, and then I dropped the mama part off and just said Krita. And that's how that, I know that's the stupidest reason. He like, that's how she came up with those names? I'm like, usually when people come up with the weirdest nicknames, it's usually a weird story. Yeah. Here we go. Ooh, I got something about the adoption process. Okay, here we go. What advice would you give to someone starting the adoption process? That's number one. And then number two, what is the most frustrating experience that you've had with CPS while fostering and adopting? Number three, with the kids being half Puerto Rican, do you put them in any type of programs that teach them Spanish and teach them about their culture? I'm possibly adopting Hispanic kids, so I'm curious as to how to handle this. Okay, number one, what advice would you give someone starting the process? I guess I want to do a whole video on this because I could ramble all the time. Advice. Okay, not everybody is single. So if you are in a relationship, you need to both be on board. You can't have one person trying to steer the ship and another one throwing the anchor out of the ship. So the anchors are on the ship, right? Anchors are always on the ship. They go out of the ship when you need to use it. So the anchor is foster care or adoption. And you have two pilots, not pilots, but you have two captains and a co-captain. You have one captain and a co-captain, you know? So it's like a husband and a wife. And the anchor is on the ship. The ship is your life. And you know, we're sailing on this thing called life. You know, people say that. Okay, and the anchor on the ship is an adoptive child, foster child, you know, the fostering process. Now, one person can't be trying to steer this ship through life and the other person taking this anchor and throwing it out of the ship because they don't want that anchor on their ship anymore. We ain't doing that. We're not fostering. So you can't do that. You gotta both be on board with that. That's number one. If you're not on board with that, that's not fair for that child that's coming into the home. Also, if you already have children yourself, and if you sit down and have a family discussion and your children be like, hold up, wait a minute, I don't want no stranger in my home. I don't want no kids in my home. Or they could say, I got a friend at school, their parents do foster care and they tell me some crazy stories. I don't want that for us. You need to listen to them. Don't sit there and be like, well, we the parents. I appreciate your concern, Timmy. But at the end of the day, we're mom and dad. And we're going to do what we want to do. I wouldn't do that. I feel I would have to be on board. Like, I'm so happy and so blessed that Lizzie and Eddie are related. Because I don't know how I would do it if they weren't biologically related. Like, if I wanted to do this again, I would have to ask them. I wouldn't just be like, well, I'm going to do it. No, I would ask them. And that is the God honest truth. Because 9 times out of 10, that person would not be related to them unless birth mom has another child, which a lot of people ask me if she did give birth, would I take the next child? The answer is no, but there's just more to that story. But anyway, I feel you have to be ready. And if there's other people in your life, like a husband, a significant other, whatever you want, if it's a husband, girlfriend, wife, husband, boyfriend, fiance, and if you got children, y'all all need to be on board before you do it. That's my biggest advice. All have to be on board, and all y'all have to be ready, because you are gonna be taken for some loops, some flips, dips, some trips. Make you want to take some sips. Psych, no, I'm just playing. But you're gonna have some headaches. It's gonna be serious. And I've never done this in a relationship. I was dating Honey Bunches of Oats, if anybody remember, years ago, and I was already a foster parent before, but I had a break, and during that break we dated, and I told him, I said, how would you feel if I got a child while we're dating? Because when I had a child, we were just friends, and he lived about 45 minutes away from me, so it's not like he saw the child all the time. And he said, I would be all right with it, but you could tell the way he was answering the question, it was almost like he was saying, yeah, I gotta say that I'll be all right because I don't want to lose you. That type of a vibe I was getting from him. And we had a long conversation. We went to Florida, and that vlog is up, but the conversation is not in the vlog. And a week after we came back from Florida, Lizzie showed up, and our relationship just went away after that. He really wasn't okay with it. And then it was just like our life wasn't going the same way, and I had to end that relationship. But Lizzie met him a couple times. She don't remember, but he would play with her. I think she met him 4 times. He came around about 4 times, and he thought she was so cute and so chubby and squishy. And yeah, but you need to be ready. What's the second one? What is the most frustrating experience you've had with CPS while fostering and adopting? The biggest frustration I've had is that sometimes you will feel like you are being treated like 3 hots in a cot. And I know that phrase is what they say, what they call jail. So we're not going to think about it in a jail way, but what is 3 hots in a cot? What does that mean? 3 hots is 3 meals, and a cot means bed space. So it's not like jail. They won't treat you like you're jail, but they'll treat you like all you are is 3 meals and a bed space for that child. So sometimes you will feel like you're 3 hots in a cot, and that will frustrate the hell out of you. And it's like it's almost like you'll bite your tongue, because like, if I cause too much ruckus, they're gonna take the child away. But if I don't say enough, I feel like I'm not advocating for the child. So girl, boy, you are gonna be frustrated about that. It's like, like you're just sitting there, like, it's kind of like having a best friend that's being abused in a relationship, I guess. That's like the first thing that popped to my head. And it's like, you want to say something like, or no, not an abused relationship, being cheated on. And your friend is being cheated on. And you're like, but if I say something, she might get mad at me and won't talk to me no more. because I'm jealous of her relationship or because I don't want to see her happy. So I'm not gonna say nothing. But then if I don't say anything, am I really being her best friend? Because what if he cheats on her with somebody and brings a disease to her? And let's say that he did cheat on her, caught a disease and gave it to her, and you're like, I knew he was cheating on you and I didn't say anything. I could have stopped you from getting an STD. But you didn't want to say anything at that time because you would have looked like a hater. Like she would have got mad at you and you would have lost your friend. Kind of thing like that. So you like stuck. And you're going to feel like that with these? Yeah, you're going to feel stuck. Like there's going to be feelings how you know something is wrong. If you say something, it's like, oh, you just saying that because you want that child. So you want the rights terminated. So you're going to say bad things about the birth parents. But then if you don't say anything, it's like, I'm not advocating for this child. I know something, especially if you live in a small town. Like I live in Connecticut. I can get from one end of Connecticut to the other in 50 minutes. There's states that take hours to get through the whole state. Some states take a whole day to get through the whole state. It takes me 50 minutes to go from one end of Connecticut to the other. Connecticut is like that small. It's the second smallest state. I think the smallest one is Rhode Island, something like that. It's mad clustered up here and racist, but that's another story. But it's like up in Connecticut, like when someone saw a picture of the different parents of the children that I had, and it's like, I know that person. My mom knew someone. She was like, I know that person. She was like that. And I was like, wow. Or one of my high school friends knows their birth parents. One of the girls I worked with at that old job, that night job I worked at, which I don't work there anymore. Hallelujah, Father God. Yes. I don't work there anymore, but one of the girls that worked there knew one of their biological parents, like one of their biological fathers, because they had the same mom and different dads. And I'm like, this place is so small. You're gonna feel like you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's the biggest thing. You're gonna say certain things and they're gonna look at you like you're a joke. The biggest thing I could think of on the top of my head was Eddie's peanut allergy. And he was still being fed things during his visits, and I'm like, he has a peanut allergy. And the thing that I wanted them to check labels before he ate the food on a visit. I said, just please check labels. Please check labels. And they wouldn't check labels. And I'm like, how hard is it for you to check the label? And they wouldn't do it. I'm like, what the heck is your problem? Like, check the label before you let them feed him. And now the person I'm telling to check the label is DCF, and they wouldn't do it. And the people who were monitoring the visits, and they wouldn't do it. So I got mad and I went off. I said, I'm about to go off, and I wrote a long email and I said, whatever the outcome is, so be it. And I just went off. And I said, this is what life. This is not me not liking this person or having a certain feeling about this person. This is this boy's life. Don't you understand? He can die. And so I'm going to say something. And I went off. And after that, people was like, okay. And they start ruffling. I was like, whoa, that's all I had to do. But I don't know. But that's the biggest thing. They tell you that you have a voice. That's one of the things they'll tell you. You got a voice? You got a voice? They tell you that so you could become a foster parent. And once you become a foster parent, you will see that you do not have a voice. You are their 3 hots and a cot. That's how you will feel. That's the biggest thing you will feel. That's the main anger that you're gonna have. This is not a question. I know my soul is not here. But on some videos, I mentioned Christopher. I don't know why this popped up in my head, but some videos, I mentioned a little boy named Christopher. Christopher is my nephew. Some people were thinking that that's a new child that I have. No, I ain't got no more kids. That's my nephew. That's Christine's son. And they don't want their son on social media, so out of respect, I don't show him. But Christopher is my sister's son. Okay. Oh, and I read this one. Where do the kids come up with their nicknames? And do you have any nicknames? My nickname's Ken. Yeah, pretty much. Um, oh, and this person wrote another one. What do the kids call you? Mom, mommy, mama. They call me mom and mommy, not mama. The other one is, do you ever, I think this one is kind of sound like the other ones. Do you ever worry about the kids' biological relatives coming for them in the future? Oh no, this is different. Okay. Do you ever worry about the do you ever worry about the kids' biological relatives coming for them in the future, or maybe trying to get them without your knowledge? Let's say maybe if you're out and about, not really trying to say kidnapping, but you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But technically it would be kidnapping. Point blank period. I'm mama bear. Touch my kids and we're gonna have a problem. Point blank period. Now, with relatives trying to get them, there is no trying. Like, you are blood their relative, but I'm also a relative too. And I don't think people really understand how adoption works. Not just foster care, but adoption. Once a child is adopted, that is their child. Like, it's not like I'm not watching them for now. I'm not just being there 3 hots and a cot. I am mom now. So they can't take them. Now, anybody could kidnap somebody, which is, I don't even want to think about that ever happening, because wow, y'all say Kim is real funny and nice and patient and kind. You wouldn't, wow. Yeah, I'd be like a cheetah, like a bear, like a pit bull, like a lion, any other type of like rawr animal. It won't be no wow. It'll be like you get it. But no, I think people really don't understand how adoption works, and I think they feel like it's a temporary thing until someone gets their life together, or it's like you got them, but something can always change. They can always get them back, or someone can always fight for them, or no, it's nothing like that. That's not how adoption works. When they strip rights, they strip rights. It's done. There is no nothing. There's nothing that you can do. I'm on their birth certificate. They got new social security cards. And I didn't know this, but when you adopt a young baby, they get a whole new social security number. I was like, what? And they say, yeah, we do that when they're really little and they've been adopted. We give them a whole new social security number. I was like, oh, and they said, plus they're older, so they never used a social security number before, so we can give them a new one. I was like, I never knew that. I thought once you get that number, that's the number. You can't change it. Boom, boom, blah. That's it. But Lizzie doesn't have the same social security number that she had when she was born. Eddie doesn't have the same social security number that he had when he was born. They're different. Their birth certificates are different. Now I'm sure, like in the what do they call it, Department of Vitals. I think that's what the little place that does the birth certificates. Of course, they have the original one, like their birth one, and they call it, it's locked now. They have that, but that one is no longer used. That's locked, like a vault. It's like, no, but it's locked. So that one doesn't exist. They can't use that one. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, when you change, you change. That's it. So they can come around, but if they come around, it's just gonna be, I already know they're gonna make it problematic. And so it'll just be like any old stranger. They're like, can you please like back up? Excuse me, get away. Like that. But no, I'm not worried. I've never been worried. The only thing I was worried, like when I first had Lizzie and adopting a child that didn't look like me, like color-wise, was would people believe that that's my child? Like if we ever got in a car accident and I'm unconscious or something, would they believe that those are my kids? Like, would they be like, oh sweetie, what's your name? Where's your mommy and daddy? And they're like, that's my mom right there. That's your mom right there? Or like, if someone did come up and be like, those are my babies, or those are my niece and nephew, you know, stuff like that. And then like it gets really loud and I call the police or something. And then someone says, well, ma'am, that's their niece and nephew. I'm like, but I'm their mother. Like, who would the cop believe? Because I'm brown. They're not. Like, their first instinct is to believe the people who look like the children than believe me. That was my first big fear, was stuff like that. Not the fact that somebody would come along from like a far relative side. It wasn't that. The fear was, if they did come and the cops were called, or if we're in a store and the manager comes, who will they believe? It'll turn into a ruckus where everybody looking at me like I'm the one who's starting the trouble. Like, I'm not starting anything, I'm their mother. And then I start thinking, do I need to walk around with their birth certificate? Do I need to walk around with their adoption decree? Because I'm like, you know what? I ain't doing no stupid junk like that. The Lord is with me, I don't care, and YouTube is with me. So I'm like, boom, look at this video, get out of my face. So, no, but for real. And plus my kids can talk. But I don't know, that was the biggest thing that I was fearful of. I'm not fearful of that no more, but I was. In the beginning I was. But that's pretty much it. Where do you get their chairs, and do they recline? Yes, they do recline, and I didn't buy them. It was Nana. Nana bought them for all 3 of her grandchildren. So Lizzie got one, Eddie got one, and Christopher has one. They do recline. And she got them from Wayfair. So good thing I'm putting this in the video, because people ask that all the time. She got them from Wayfair. I'll put the link down below. And they were $100 and something a piece, I think. They actually were cheaper than that, because I think my mom paid almost $200 a piece for them, but they're like 1 something now. But yeah, she got them from Wayfair. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I got another one. Does Lizzie still do gymnastics? I like that question. No, she hasn't done gymnastics in a long time. I guess it wasn't an interest to her. Like, when you put a kid in some type of sport when they're so little, it's more like the parents' interest. It's like, that's really not the child's interest. They don't know what they like. So it was like, I put her in there because I thought that was cool. Like, I wanted to do gymnastics when I was little. So I'm like, I'll put Lizzie in it. And she couldn't stay still and focus, and like, she looked like she was bored, or like she really didn't want to do it. And I was like, I'm never going to force my child to do something. I'm never going to be like one of those stage moms and force my kid to do anything. So I asked her one time, I said, do you want to do this? And she said no. So I took her out of it. And then she would ask me, I think we went every Tuesday or something like that, and she would ask me, Mommy, we forgot to go to gymnastics. I was like, Lizzie, you said you didn't want to do it anymore, so I took you out. And she's like, oh. And then next week, Mommy, we forgot to go to gymnastics. No, she didn't even call it gymnastics, she called it nastics. We forgot to go to my nastics. I was like, you said you didn't want to do it. Oh. And then she kept asking. I was like, Lizzie, why do you do this every week? I said, you told me you didn't want to do it. And then she said, I want to do it again. I miss my nastics. And I was like, are you sure? And she said, yeah. So I put her back in it. And she was only in it for a hot minute. And then I took her right back out because she didn't want to be in it anymore. And I said, maybe this really isn't what you want to do. So if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. And so I took her out of it. She hasn't been there since she 3? I don't want to say 2. No, I think I put her in there when she was almost 2, or she was like 18 months when I put her in it. Maybe she was like 2.5 or 3 when I took her out. So she's been out of it for a while, for a few years. The crazy thing about it is Eddie's asking to go into gymnastics. So I was like, if you really want to do it, I can put you in there. But don't say you want to do it just because you don't watch a couple videos with Lizzie twirl and swirl and dipping and flipping. And now you want to do it and you're going to tell me you don't want to do it. But he said, yeah, he want to do it. So I'm thinking about putting him in it. And I have a feeling that he will do very well in it because he loves to keep trying. His determination is impeccable. He needs to have that much determination to go potty training, because it doesn't take that long to go potty training, to do the potty training thing. I've been doing this for a long time, and he is 100% potty trained with the poop. He will not poop on himself. But with the peeing, the boy won't go to the bathroom to pee. I was like, boy, if you could go to the bathroom to poop, and some people say that's the hardest, why can't you just take your booty crack right on over there and go pee? He pees on himself a lot. And I'm like, Eddie. So he ain't all the way there. That's the only thing that he's not determined to get down. Anything else, he will work hard till he get it. But, yeah. But no, she's not in it anymore. She left it a long time ago because she didn't want to do it. Swipe. Okay, here we go. Why did it take so long for you to adopt Eddie? Ooh, right now I'm feeling like it was my fault. My fault. So I just playing. No, why did it take so long to adopt Eddie? And that was because people were dragging. DCF was giving, I guess, chance after chance. And certain people knew that that's what was happening, getting chance after chance. So they dragged it along and just took advantage of that. Which that they don't realize it doesn't work in its favor. So if you're watching a video right now and you have your child taken away by DCF, do not drag it because it's not working in your favor. You could drag it like, that gives me more time to get my life together. It gives me more time. Yeah, but it's also working against you because now the child has been with that family longer. So now that family, they're gonna look at that family as a party now. At first, in the beginning, how I said they look at you like you have 3 hots in a cot. They're gonna pretty much look at you like that for a very long time. But in the very beginning, that is how they look at you. Boom, that's it. 3 hots in a cot. Shh, be quiet. This is not about you. It's about the child and their birth family. Go sit down. Get them 3 hots together and get them 3 cots together. Okay. That's how they're gonna look at you in the beginning. But then when that child is with you for a very, very long time, they're gonna look at it like, you know what? You're a little more than 3 hots in a cup. Come on over here. You have a little say. You mean something now. That child is seriously bonded with you. They've been with you for 2-3 years. See what I'm saying? So if you have a child taken away from you, get your act together fast, okay? Get it together fast. Don't be like, yo, I don't feel like doing what I'm supposed to do. I like living my life. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. Well, you need to do, I don't care. You need to do it anyway, okay? That's how it is. Get your life together. Everybody has to live straight and narrow, you know? Like, do it. I don't know how to explain it, like, do it. Or if you are a parent and you're not involved in DCF, but you don't want to listen. You could be a young parent, you don't want to listen. Or you're an adult parent and you don't want to listen. And someone says, get your life together, you're going to lose your kids. And you don't want to listen. Please listen. You know, stop being hard-headed doing what you want to do. Okay? Because your children will get taken away from you. You won't have any more kids. Now you can do what you want to do because you don't have any children anymore. You know? So it's like, if you're given a certain amount of time, a certain deadline to do what you were told to do it. Do not extend it longer and longer and longer and longer. And then what's going to happen is your chances of getting your child back is going smaller and smaller and smaller because now they're looking at it in the best interest of the child now. And now they're looking at the foster family now and they're like, dang, you are the birth family, but that child has been with this family for 3 years. It's in the best interest of that child. Now you see what I'm saying? You want the state to look the way they were looking at you from the beginning, like not looking at you because they're gonna look at you like you're not doing right, but looking at your case. Okay, the case is this. We've taken the child away. Now we want the birth family, the birth parents to do X, Y, and Z to get the kid back. So you want them to keep going on that same ingredient list. We need this, and we need this to create this stew. You see what I'm saying? You want that. But when you start taking a long time to get your life together, they're going to start adding different ingredients or looking at a whole different dish. They're not going to look at, well, we need you to do this, and you get your kid back. They're going to stop looking that way. They're going to look at it like, you took a long time, so we're not even cooking that dish no more. Now we're looking at it like this. And then that's how they looked at it with Eddie, because he was with me so long, so they started looking at it differently. But the whole reason why it took so long is because people were prolonging things. And other things that I probably don't know about. But it was just prolonging the whole case. It shouldn't have taken that long, but there are a lot of stories that take that long. There are a lot of stories that take years. Because people prolong it. And then there's family members that come out of the woodwork that be like, yo, I want the kid. And I'm like, who are you? I'm your cousin. I want the kid. And they're like, okay. You are a biological cousin, or you're a biological aunt, or biological uncle, or a biological, there's only an aunt, cousin, uncle, mom, dad, grandparents. There's not many names that you have. And they're like, okay, well, give me your name, and let me look up your history, see if you're on the straight and narrow. And they're like, you have a lot of cases against you. We're not giving this child to you. Next. And they move out the way. And what happens is when they start bringing different relatives out of nowhere, that slows the case down. So they're like, okay, well, we gotta put it on the pause. They're at a red light now. We gotta go to the red light. And now we have to look at this new member. And then they start running background checks and doing this. And so that slows it. And then when they look and they're like, nah, you wouldn't be the best fit for that child. Excuse me. Next. And then the light turns green. And then they go on about their day and they're like, we got another family member. I'm like, red light. Let's look at this family member. Okay. Give you a name. Let me write down everything. And like, oh, you look all right. Everything cleared. Okay, everything cleared. Okay, so we're gonna look at this person a little more, and then they'll come to you like, Kim, a person popped up, and we gotta look at them. And the child may be going to that relative because we try to keep families together. And then something may pop up out of nowhere, and like, they came from another state. Something popped up in another state, and they don't live there no more. And there's a long laundry list record of this person in another state. And they're like, oh, whoa, we found out something. And then the light turns green again. And we're moving on. And light turns red again. Like, how many family members are you going to bring up? And cases are like that. I've had a couple of those. I had that a couple times with Lizzie. It was like 3 times with Lizzie. And I had it a few times with Eddie. But that's just... That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a lot of family members coming out of nowhere. But that's why it took so long. But it's just DCF takes forever to do things, and most of it is just time. Like, for example, when rights are terminated, they got 90 days to appeal it. So we're all just sitting here like, doo, 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 doo. Nobody's doing the paperwork. The judge already said their decision. DCF already made their decision, so now we're just waiting to see if they're going to appeal it. If they fight it, then it doesn't start all over again, but it's like, okay, if they fight it, they got to go to court, and the judge says, okay, I'm going to accept your appeal. We're going to give you some more time. Get your life together. Come back in about 4 months. Let's see how you're working now. And like, you giving this case 4 more months, and most of it is just everybody's sitting down waiting, and they have to go by what the judge says. Do X, Y, and Z. I give you 4 months to do it. I don't want to have to go through that again. 4 years of just, it's like having a custody battle, like a husband and wife having a custody battle for 4 years, or going through a messy divorce for 4 years. You want it to be over, and it's finally over. So if she has any more children, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I told my mom, and I told my old social worker, because you get a social worker and then your kids get a social worker. And I told my social worker at that time. She was over my house for almost 2 hours, and we were just talking. She was like, this is my last visit. And y'all, the battery died on that camera. Why did the battery die that fast? I fully charged that thing. But anyway, y'all, this is it. This is a sign to wrap it up. This video is probably like forever long. Okay, I don't even know where I left off at. Like, this is the little vlogging camera that I'm using right now. But I don't know when it stopped, like stopped recording. But you were asking about if I am going to adopt any other children if she gives birth again. And the answer is no. And I was telling my social worker, I don't have any social workers anymore, but at the time when I had a social worker, and she was sitting over my house, and we were talking for a long time. She's usually over for like 30 minutes. She was over for almost 2 hours that time. And she was like, if mom has another baby, would you adopt? And I gave her a look like, and then she started laughing. She's like, you know, I gotta ask. And I was like, yeah, I know. I said, but the answer is no. I said, it's getting to the point where she's my surrogate. And then she looked at me. And she was like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Yeah, you do have both of them. I said, yeah. And if she has another one and I adopt that one and adopt another one and another one and another one, I said, that's like she's my surrogate. And it's almost like, well, if I mess up, Kim will take them. Kim got them. But I can't do that. And my kids are older now. When they're little, they don't understand that. They don't understand the situation of this child may not be here forever, or there's a lot of negativity going on, and it's almost like I don't want them to think of her negatively. And if I keep having cases involving her and kids being removed, they're gonna see her in a very negative light. It's gonna be like, she keeps getting kids taken away and this like that, and I don't want them to look at her negatively. So, but if I keep taking all the children, that's how they're gonna look at her. I just pray that she either A, doesn't have any more children, or doesn't have any until she's ready. And at this point, I don't think she's ready. So I just hope she doesn't have any more. She's had 4, and all 4 of them are adopted. So it's like, take some time, get yourself together, and then if it's right, then you can have some more children. Don't have kids just because you want to. Have kids because you can, like when you're ready. So get your life together, and it may just not be for you to have children right now. You can always try later, but no, I'm not gonna adopt anymore. I don't want to adopt children that's not even, they're not from her. I'm done. It's a very hard process, and I think it's even harder when you have children, because now their emotions are attached. It's like now that child is getting bonded with the foster child, and that's gonna be their brother or sister, whether it's their biological brother or sister, or whether I'm just adopting another child from another family. But that's gonna be their brother or sister for the time being, and they're gonna get attached. And then all of a sudden the child has to go back. Imagine how you as an adult feel, and you understand like everything that can happen. Now imagine how a 3 and 5-year-old is gonna feel. So I can't do that. It has to be what's right for your family, and having more children is not right for my family, especially having foster children. Now if I give birth, that's different, but having foster children, I don't think Lizzie and Eddie would be prepared for that. I don't think Lizzie would be prepared for that, because it would be like another child taking mommy that I gotta split my time with. And then I don't think it would be ready. Eddie would be ready for it, because now he's not the baby anymore. And then I'm not ready for that. That's too much drama. I'm getting old. I'm not ready for that no more. I would love to help more children, but it's not like how you see it on TV. It's stressful. I want people to adopt. I don't want to say it in a way that get people scared and they don't want to adopt. Oh, the lighting is horrible. I look bald-headed. Like my hairline looks way back there from this light, but y'all get it. But I don't want to steer people away from it, but I don't want you to go into this situation naive either. And maybe I'll do a video strictly about foster care. Oh, no, I will, because I'm gonna talk about all the children that I had. That'll be in another video. Maybe I'll record that later, right after this. But I gotta clear these cards, and then, or maybe I'll do it tomorrow, so we'll see. But I want to do a video about all 7 children I had. You know about 2 of them, Lizzie and Eddie. But I think that's it. I've been talking for like an hour and some change. This video is long. I may cut some out because I ramble. Yeah, they're all repetitive. It's about foster care. And then some of them were questions for Lizzie and Eddie, which I will have them do a video. Yep. But that's about it. So I hope that you guys have a great day. I hope your year has started magnificent and very productive. Other than mine has not started productive. It started productive, but not productive in YouTube land. And I think that's it. I'm about to go make dinner. Yeah. I might record that. I'm gonna make pizza, macaroni, and cheese. Hopefully. Maybe my mom's cooking. If she's cooking, I ain't doing a doggone thing. I will see you guys later. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you like this video. I feel like it's ramble-ish. I ramble all the time. Yeah. See you guys later. Bye, before this camera cuts off, and I'm pissed. I don't understand how that camera cut off, because it was fully charged and it just won't turn on. I didn't see the battery flicking. I don't know. It better not have broke because it better not have got overheated. Maybe it got overheated because that thing will flash and it will flash for a good hour. I was only talking for an hour. That thing must have overheated. Something happened. I love y'all. See y'all later. Bye.